Hello, Graham. It's Elliot from Sky Sports News. How are you?
I'm well, Elliot. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you very much. Just a week before Christmas. Can I start just by asking you, Graham, just a bit about team news? Tariq Lamptey was taken off, substituted late on in the win against Fulham. Is he okay? Have you got any other worries at all?
Well, just the normal in terms of just seeing how everybody recovers. Tariq had a bit of a knock and was feeling a bit of tightness, but he's recovered well. So we'll see how he goes. We'll probably give it until as close as we can to the game, but no problems from the match against Fulham. So fully fit squad, which is positive.
Yesterday, the Premier League voted against the introduction of 5 substitutes, but you can have another 2 on the bench. I know Brighton voted for 5 substitutes. What's your reaction to that, and how will having an extra 2 substitutes help you during a game? Because I know you like to change tactics if you need to.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. It's a vote, so we're in a democracy and people are entitled to vote how they want to vote. We get on with it regardless of what the decision was, from my perspective. It's an extra 2 on the bench, which is positive, I think, for the group in terms of there's a couple more players that are involved in a match day. And then, like you say, there's more options. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. But most of the time, like I said, I get on with it and do my best.
Could I ask you about the goalkeeping situation? It's a great chance for Robert Sánchez to make his Premier League debut, home debut, I should say, on Sunday. What does Matt Ryan have to do to get his place back?
Well, it's like anything. I think train as like I know he will, which is at 100%, which is what he does every day. You know, Matty's been a top servant for this club. He's been a brilliant professional to work with for me, and I have the utmost respect for him. Sometimes you get a sense that for the team a different attribute can help, and I think Rob has those attributes. His potential is very, very high, and then it's our job to try and, like I said after the game, to try and help him fulfil that potential. So that's the situation.
Is there a possibility that Matt has played his last game for the club?
Well, I can't see into the future, to be honest. But I wouldn't say it's as extreme as that, no.
And how excited is Robert Sánchez to make his home debut for Brighton in the Premier League?
I haven't spoken to him about it, but I imagine he's looking forward to the game. Like you say, he's had 2 away matches. I think he's done well in both of them, but as always, you have to start again in this league. You have to prepare again and take the challenge on again, and knowing him, he'll do that. He'll have the support of us, that's for sure. And then let's hope that it goes well for him.
And just going back to Matt Ryan, there has been a report to say that the club will be willing to listen to offers for him in January. Is that the case?
No, I think you've got to be respectful to the professional and his career and his family and his situation. You know, on the one hand, we're saying that we're going to give Robert a chance and an opportunity, and him and Jason have done well. Jason's done well as a number 2, and you want to give them that time. And at the same time, then you know that the situation for him may be that he wants to be in a better position in terms of being involved somewhere where he's more able to play or more involved in playing. So I think out of respect for Matty, you've got to give him that freedom to do that. But in the end, it's down to Matty and the club, really.
And just finally from me, Graham, it's an important game on Sunday. Do you see this as a really important game for you to actually get a win at home. I know you've done very well away from home. You've picked up more points away from home in your travels with some notable performances, but you haven't got a home league win this season. How important is it that you get that on Sunday?
Well, obviously we'd be delighted for a home win, and the sooner it comes, the better. And if it comes against Sheffield United, then great, absolutely. As you say, it's an important game. I reiterate all the time that I think your next match in the Premier League is the most important. So we're looking forward to the game.
Thanks very much, Graham. Best of luck on Sunday.
Cheers.
Hi, Graham. David from PLP.
Hi.
Can I just first ask you about the second half performance against Fulham and what positives you take from that and the game?
I thought not just the first half. I think overall, I know the first half was a bit of a scrappy one, but I think probably expect that, but just because of how well Fulham were in and the moment they were in, and also our response from Leicester, where we were a bit disappointed. I think I was almost as happy with the first half in some ways, because I think you need to have that resilience, you need to have that stability in order to give yourself a chance in the game, to grow into the game, and we did that in the second half and had a few opportunities. Overall, I was delighted with the manner of the performance, the spirit, the personality. It gives us something to build on. To be honest, it's not like I would say, apart from the Leicester match, all of our games have been competitive. The Leicester game was a bit of a setback, and that's why it was important to get back on track pretty quickly. And I thought we did that against Fulham.
You just talked about the importance of the Sheffield game. Is it equally important in terms of confidence and getting that upward spiral for performances and confidence in the squad?
Yeah, I mean, winning games it helps everybody. That's everyone's the same. I'm pretty sure Chris will say the same thing at Sheffield United. When you're winning, the game becomes a lot easier. So from our perspective, we'll try our best. We know it's another tough Premier League match against a team fighting. Got the utmost respect for Chris Wilder and Sheffield United and what they've done and what they've achieved. From what I've seen, they could have had more points themselves as well. So this league is so brutal at times that that you can do a lot of things well and get punished, and we have to understand that and then take the challenge on every week and understand how important the games are and fight for every single point.
Well, you've been lauded for sticking to your playing style and your ethos. Does the pressure put pressure on you? Does the situation put pressure on you to be tempted to change that, or are you adamant to stick to the way you want to play?
No, I think you've got to be consistent. I think you've got to. There's no style that guarantees you a win. There's no style that says if you play like this, then you'll get the wins, because football doesn't work like that. You've got to try and work out what's the best for your players, for your and your ideas, and then try and make them work. Like I said, in football you can play the game in so many ways. There's no rights or wrong. There's no one way is better than the other. Everyone's just got to try and make their way work. And like I said, in the Premier League, it's very difficult because the opposition have got some incredible talent and good players. So for us, it's about trying to do as well as we can, and then keep those performance levels high. And then you trust that you can get the results you need.
And finally, from me, you've talked about Robert Sánchez. Obviously, 2 Premier League appearances so far. We talked about Matt and Ryan. I'm not going to go there again. But what is it you've seen in those 2 games that has impressed you from Robert?
Well, the things that we've seen every day. He's a confident boy. He's ambitious. His attributes in terms of his physicality, in terms of his ability to make big saves, aerially strong. He's got all the attributes that you need to be a top goalkeeper. What he's lacking, of course, is the experience. What he's lacking is the amount of games you need to be considered that. So until he gets that, it's just potential. and we have to just keep helping him.
Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
Graham, how good was it to have Leandro Trossard back in the side? It seemed like a really disciplined performance from him as he returned to the starting 11.
Yeah, really good. Really good. He's had an injury that's probably, of course, set him back. So he's been working hard to get himself back in the right condition, and he's getting better and better, I think. There's more to come from him. But, overall, I thought he did well in the game, and he'll get stronger for that.
In terms of Sheffield United, they don't obviously look that different aside to what they were last season. Is it difficult to sort of understand how a team can go with just 1 point, or is it quite possible in the Premier League?
Well, it is possible because, like I said earlier, it's a brutal league, and if the margins don't go your way, then you can find yourself on the wrong end of results. If you look at their defeats, they're not getting beat 3 or 4 every week. It's narrow defeats. They lost in the last kick of the game against Leicester. I don't know how they lost against West Brom with the chances they created. A lot of the things that I see with Sheffield United are positive, and what I saw last year. And like I said, I know Chris, I know his teams. They're always competitive. They never give up. There's a fantastic job, fantastic football story there, and regardless of where they are in the league or how many points they've got, I've got tremendous respect for him and Sheffield United as a club.
In terms of the home form, I know you've talked about it before, but does it become like a mental thing at all, do you think, in the players, or is that something that you try not to talk about too much just because it creates that sort of feeling?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's a combination of we've played a lot of the top teams without our supporters. It's been a few too many draws, and wins are hard to come by, and that's how it is. But we're keen to address that. We're keen to change it. Sometimes you have to go through a period of suffering, and you can come through it, and then you can be stronger. And I think that's what we're all aiming for. Like I said, we'll do our best against Sheffield United, and that's an opportunity because it's the next match. But I know for sure it's not an easy match. It's not a gimme. We have to fight for everything. They're going to be ultra competitive, and as in every game in the Premier League, you've got to do your best and hope for a little bit of luck. And then when we get that win, we'll be delighted.
And this festive period, some managers have been quite vocal about the quick turnarounds. Do you have any complaints? Obviously, you've got the 27th and the 29th as in very close proximity.
Yeah, I think it's one of the Christmas traditions, isn't it? There's Christmas turkey, Christmas crackers, and managers complaining about the change of turnaround in games. I think sometimes it's fair, sometimes it isn't, and it's probably more. It's less fair for Sheffield United this time with their recovery time. It's less fair for us when we play against Arsenal because they've got an extra day. There's nothing we can do. We don't set the schedules. You just have to accept it and get on with it as best you can. Something that probably, in an ideal world, it would look different, but I don't think there's ever going to be that way. It's something that we always talk about, and it's never going to change, I don't think. So again, nothing I can control. Get on with it as best we, get on with it and do our best.